I'm here with Samuel Frederick. He's one of the filmmakers. His film, Rabbit Hole. Wow. This one is great. I loved seeing this. You have so many great themes and elements going on in the story. Let's talk about what the seed of the idea for this was. We just talked about it a second ago. Tell us how it came to be.
Well, Rabbit Hole was inspired by a lot of different things. I mean, obviously, a lot of it's brought about by my love of Miyazaki, Adventure Time, stuff like Dark Souls, but...
and these are film influences of yours, yes?
Film and games, whatnot.
Okay. Great.
I've always been a huge fan of post-apocalyptic media, and I really wanted to have my own contribution to that. The original idea for this actually started from a dream I had about a year ago where, I don't know, I just kind of imagined myself walking down a long sort of dark hole with something at the end that I needed to find. And so, yeah, that was sort of the seed of this idea, and from there I kind of expanded from that into what you can see.
All right, which is a great allusion to the title of your film. Now, you're talking about a dream that you had, but yet your main character is a young girl. That's right. So talk to us about how the choice for that character came to be.
Well, I mean, a lot of that has to do with, I think, child protagonists are always very compelling because they tend to be the characters that we expect the least from, and we expect them to always be sort of coddled and
so true.
Yeah, not be able to look out for themselves. So I think putting a child character in an environment like this is a very interesting and compelling way to go about it. And I've always been fascinated by child psychology, and I think that looking at movies through a child's eye is always interesting because it's so much more sort of open and so much more, I don't really know how to put it into words, but so much more...
You're doing a great job. This is great.
Thanks. And, they're more open to things, and experiences can be so much more frightening or so much happier. I feel like as you grow older, your sort of emotional range kind of becomes stunted. You don't feel as happy as you were or sad as you were, but with children, there's a much broader range to work with.
That spectrum remains so wide.
Exactly, and that's why I thought it would be interesting for this movie.
And it is interesting. It's fascinating because you're exploring this story through animation without any dialogue. You have some vocal reactions from your young character, but yet talk to us about going in the animation route because you're exploring this child's world, but there's a mood to it. There's some violence in the film. There's some real, I don't want to say, well, I'll say it, some aggressive themes that are happening in the girl's story. Talk to us about the dichotomy of that, a young girl's life and those themes happening in her mind and maybe in her reality.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in addition to, like, I think that there's kind of a tendency to have sort of a view of childhood that's very sort of sanitized, and it's very clean, if you will. And when really growing up is a very messy process, and you see a lot of violence, and you make mistakes, and you mess up.
Yes.
So I think there is kind of a lot of darkness and uncertainty to growing up, because you're emerging into this world that you don't know, and there's so much to it that's confusing, and you're trying to understand. So I think there is a lot of darkness to growing up, but I think at the end of the day, the film is also very hopeful because...
Absolutely, that's where I was going to segue. Yes, say more.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because she has to make a choice in the film, which I don't think is the right choice in the context, but I do think she's learned from it at the end, and she's growing to be better able to sort of find herself in this crazy world that she lives in.
So that being said, you're talking about hope, and it's told through the theme of a dream. But yet, as we just discussed off camera, I was a little bit turned around because there is a dream, yes?
That's right. The film itself takes place in sort of a post-apocalyptic, kind of alien-esque world, but occasionally the girl flashes back to a sort of more domestic life that she might have used to have, or might have just been a dream that she's read about or seen in different things that she's found in this world.
And that's the question, which is the dream? Which I love the way that you explored that and you set that up in your film. Say more.
Yeah, well, it's, I did my best to not explain too much about this world that she's in. There's a lot of very bizarre and surreal imagery to it, and there's a lot of signs of the past world, but I don't really give away what happened to make the world like it is, or, you know, why this particular thing happened. So it's very, and again, the girl is shown with her mother, you know, being tucked in, but it doesn't necessarily make sense temporally, because she's about the same age as she is with her mom in those flashbacks as she is in the actual film, but she's, and it's not really explained why. So I wanted there to be sort of a blurring of the lines between reality and fantasy in this, and the point of view in this is very much subjective from the little girl's point of view. So,
I absolutely think that you achieved that blurring of the lines in a fascinating way. Now, for our audiences that are going to see this today and want to watch it again, and for those that are going to want to seek out your film and watch it, tell us where you can find it, where we can find it.
It's already been uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch it there. It's also going to be on Vimeo and Newgrounds.
Okay, and it's under Rabbit Hole, 2 words, right?
Rabbit Hole, that's correct.
Okay. Awesome. So great to talk to you. You are a cinema and media studies student here at Carleton College, here in Minnesota, and you're in your senior year. And what are you working on right now?
Well, right now I'm working on my final comprehensive project for my senior year, which is going to be another animated film. And
I love it.
yeah, we'll see how that one turns out.
Best of luck to you.